Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to lesson 1, connecting with your brilliance. So here's the scoop. This whole course is all about making sales from your brilliance, building a business from your brilliance, which means the very first step and the step that you're going to have to go back to time and time again as you up level, as you shift, as you pivot, as you build and grow and scale your business. It's going to be coming back to this, to connecting with you, yourself, your very own brilliance. This is what makes you you. This is your inner essence, your soul's purpose, whatever you want to call it. Connecting with your brilliance begins from the very place within you. So I want to share with you a few different ways that you can continuously connect and stay connected. And here's the thing, we are all going to go off course. We are going to go through times in our life and in our business where things feel off track or misaligned. Having a practice and a process in place to come back to is what matters. You will go off track. I promise you that. But what I want you to gain from this lesson is to be able to start to build a muscle where you can come back to you and to connect with the truth of who you are. Because this I know, when you build a business off of your soul's purpose, that's when everything unlocks. We start to attract our dream clients and customers. We start to feel really incredible about the work we're doing. More money flows our way and everything just builds off of that. So, a few tips. Check in with yourself. Your body is actually a processor of information. Now, I know many of us have been taught to use our brains and our logical minds, which of course is super important, but we also haven't been taught how to really use our body, our physical self. The body can actually sense and process information. This is science. There's all kinds of research about this, that the body can connect with information before the mind can. So before you make any decisions, before you do things, it's really important to continuously be checking in. Now, some people feel it in their heart, maybe their throat, maybe their gut. For me, I can usually feel something somewhere in the center of my chest, whether it's like a yes or a no, or maybe a contraction feeling. So checking in with your body to see what it means for you and what it's trying to tell you. Whenever I'm talking to some of my one-on-one clients, they'll say things like, I really want to do this, but I'm feeling this, something inside of me doesn't feel right. So it's learning to discern that information. Is it that you're nervous or afraid, that excitement feeling versus hard no, hard stop. This is not for you. This is not the path you should go down. So like I said, being aware of the sensations in your body and also getting really clear on how you want to feel. Now we're going to be chatting about that in the next lesson, but feelings, we can literally build our business off of how we want to feel. Maybe it's you want to feel freedom inside. Maybe you want to feel expansiveness inside. Understanding what the feelings are that you want to emanate and you want to embody inside of your business, super duper important. Also, noticing any fear-based thoughts. Anytime you're projecting thoughts that have a negative spin or a scarcity spin or a fear-based spin, that can pull you out of alignment as well. And I'm going to share with you a little process that I use for flipping myself into abundance. And that doesn't mean I'm flipping myself into all of a sudden having more money. It means I'm flipping myself into feeling better on the inside, this inner abundance. I'm also going to share with you a little practice about connecting with yourself, connecting with the divine. Whether you consider yourself a spiritual person or not, there is something bigger, greater, powerful. Call it source energy, the universe, the divine God. Doesn't matter what you call it. There's something out there and we can co-create. We can tap into that energy and that essence to help us with our business growth. So one of the questions I hear a lot from people is, Becky, I don't feel abundant. How can I just all of a sudden feel abundant? So the quickest way you can shift this energy is by noticing what is already abundant around you. So maybe you're not feeling abundant in your bank account. Maybe you're not feeling abundant with the number of clients or bookings that you have. Take a minute, take a pause, connect with the energy and the sensation of abundance. Maybe it's the love that you have for your children, which is never ending, boundless. Maybe it's the sunlight, the sun rising in the morning. I often just sit and watch the sun and notice how it continues to shine. It continues to bring brilliance into my life. Maybe it's water on the ocean, this big, expansive body of water, which feels limitless. Also your breath. We are these beautiful, living, breathing beings. And when we're connected to our breath, we're actually connected to something that is unlimited, that is abundant. So for you, it might be noticing how many leaves there are on a tree or how many books you have in your house. It almost doesn't matter. But connecting with something that's already abundant, because like energy attracts like energy. So if we feel abundant and we continuously tap into that sensation, then more of that, including clients, money, business growth, is going to circle back and come towards us. The other thing I mentioned was really noticing anytime that you are projecting fear-based thoughts. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a process for how to work through your own limiting beliefs, but really the first step is just to notice what you are projecting, right? What energy are you projecting out into the world? If you want to receive something back, it starts by putting something out first. So if you want to receive fear and scarcity and lack, and you're projecting that, well, that's what you're going to get. But if you're projecting abundance, joy, gratitude, happiness, then those types of things are going to circle back to you. And we're going to get into that in later modules when we're talking about attracting and getting clients, this idea of attracting, but also then taking action to book people in. Two things. One last thing before I go to the next slide is not judging your thoughts. So when we judge something, it actually traps us inside of that pattern instead of allowing for more. So if you judge your thought or you judge yourself even, it's going to trap you there. It's going to make it more sticky and harder to unravel. So one of the things that I like to talk about and share about is opening your body, opening the pathways for more, allowing that feel-good energy to come through. So for me, the feel-good energy is connecting with my breath, is watching a sunrise, is allowing the essence of that positivity, of that high vibration to flow through me, because it almost becomes addictive, right? This feel-good energy, and then that's what you start to call in and to attract. So what you desire will start to come back to you. So another way for continuously connecting, because it is a practice, it is something that you're going to have to do time and time again, is to have different daily practices. So I would 100% encourage you to create your own, come up with your own. Some people meditate, some people do yoga. It almost doesn't matter as long as it feels good for you. So for me, I do a few things. I do a lot of things. I'm going to share 3 of the things here with you right now. So before I go to bed at night, it's one thing to go to bed, full of your to-do list and stress and all the thoughts and the things that didn't go wrong and all the things you need to do tomorrow, versus going to bed tapped into an abundant or a gratitude-based feeling. So I think it's Wayne Dyer. It could be Deepak Chopra. They talk, one of them, maybe both of them, talks about how if you can marinate, now they don't use the word marinate, that's what I call it, but if you can marinate in these high vibration thoughts, in these abundant thoughts during the night, then that's like 6 hours, 8 hours, or however long you sleep for, that your brain is in that space and calling in more of that. So I will check in with myself and I'll think about, what I'm grateful for that day or what felt abundant. And I just give myself a minute to be in that place so that my last thoughts are ones that I want to continue. They're thoughts I want to have again and again and again, as opposed to the thoughts that I have to work to break, right? Breaking my habits of negative thinking, which we're going to get into. So then in the morning, before I jump out of bed, before I even put my feet on the floor, I just take a minute. Now mornings, I don't know about you, but mornings can be a little bit tricky for me because there are lunches to pack, there are kids to get off to school, there's my work to-do list, right? It's easy for me to go straight into the do, go mode. But then I'm hardwiring my body to be in that place of like stress and action all day, as opposed to giving myself just 2 to 4 minutes, maybe my hand on my heart, thinking about the things I'm grateful for. And I will even think of the warmth of my comforter around me or the warm cup of coffee that I'm going to have. It doesn't have to be big things, but just setting yourself up, setting your day up for success by giving yourself a moment to check in, see how you're feeling, see how you want to feel for that day, and setting an intention for that. And then the last thing I want to share with you in terms of daily practices is setting up this ritual. So a ritual for me is my knowing that at a moment's notice, I can drop down into my body. I think of it as my third eye. I take my third eye and I visualize it dropping down into my body. And it could go anywhere from the top of my head to the bottom of my spine, allowing that to drop into my body so that I can reconnect. I can flip out of like who I am and my connection with myself, my connection with source, if I get stuck in my head. But if I connect back with my breath, do it with me right here. Take a deep breath. Put your feet on the floor. Breathe in through the base of your spine, like really reaching for your breath and allowing it to come up through your body from the base of your spine all the way up through. Knowing you can come back to that at any time. I know it sounds simple, but it's honestly a game changer. If you can continue to connect with who you are, what you desire, how you want to serve in this world, inside your business, game changer. You will always be building a business off of your inner purpose. It's going to be rooted in that strength, in that core energy. Oh yes, one of my favorite sayings, you can't call in more from a place of lack. So anytime we're talking about business growth, we're talking about calling in more clients, more abundance, more time even. Could be more time with our families, could be more time to work on our business, but we're growing, we're expanding. If we want to desire more, we can't attract that if we're stuck in our fear-based thoughts. So just notice anytime you're projecting these fear-based thoughts. And as I mentioned, I promise we're going to go through this inside of this module. And remember this, there's nothing you need to do. You don't need to be anybody different. You don't need to change who you are to be worthy of this business growth, to be worthy of your desires. Doesn't matter what your desires are. And I know if you're here and you're watching this course, you're watching this video, your desires are probably really beautiful and achievable, but you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to do anything to be deserving of that desire or even of the success that's on its way. You're already inherently worthy. Like that just is. And if you could take one thing away from this particular idea, it's that from the moment you were born, from the moment you were put here on earth, like there was nothing that you needed to do. It's already here. Like you're already good. You're as you are. You don't have to change a single thing to deserve this next phase of your business. The work we're going to be doing together inside of this module and in module 2 for money beliefs is to start to question the thoughts that tell you otherwise, that tell you you're not worthy, that tell you you're not deserving, that tell you you're not ready, that tell you you need another certificate or whatever it is that your inner critic, your mind is telling you. It is a process. I don't want to undermine or underscore the process of unpacking our limiting beliefs. Transformation can happen like in a flash, in an instant, in a breath, but sustainable change, sustainable growth happens over time. Okay, if you haven't done so already, I would love for you to download the PDF for this module so you can follow along, and I will see you inside of the next lesson.